This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Hello and welcome to episode 13, Unlucky 13, of Too Old to Game.
The one and only 13, too.
It will be. I'm your fear-filled host, Dave Oster. Today I'm not joined by Mark Weber. We're not dubbing them these today. No, we're not. He doesn't deserve it.
He doesn't deserve it.
Didn't show up to work.
Told us late, too.
Yeah, I know.
It was a late, 4:30? Like, hey, guys, I can't come. I'm not feeling good.
Dropping in that little bomb. But I am joined by the original man shot himself, Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys? And
today on Too Old to Game, which is our game-themed podcast, of course, on MVP Network, we're going to talk a little bit about this Harry Potter League. You know, there might be an online MMO game. You know, play a little Harry Potter, get in that universe. Something a lot of people have really looked forward to for a long time. Timing, of the league, a little suspect considering there's a movie for Fantastical Beasts coming out a couple weeks. Right? It's just a couple weeks away, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
The Grindelwald or
yes.
whatever his name is?
Yep.
I'm not a huge Fantastic Beasts guy, so...
Okay, that's fair.
Bear with me. I know it's Johnny Depp. That's at least all that I know.
Yikes. But before we get too into it, I do have to do a little bit of housekeeping. If you want to support us, you can always check us out on iTunes. We are there now. Drop us 5 stars or whatever you feel we deserve. If you want to support us even more, you can check out our Patreon. For a mere $10, I say mere, and I'm not even, for $10, if you decide to donate at that level, you can join us on an episode of any of our shows on the MVP Network. But I want to get right into it, Ricky, because this one's kind of fun, because this wasn't supposed to happen as far as we're all concerned.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there was a post on YouTube by Rasta Pasta, and it was like, some gameplay. It kind of looks like Harry. That is Harry Potter World. Okay, so we got Harry Potter World, and then that quickly was picked up by a Reddit user named
Vape This Bro.
Vape This Bro.
Just the great journalistic minds of Vape This Bro and Rastapasta.
Absolutely. It's the quality we get in 2018. But yeah, so it was basically someone literally recording from their phone onto a screen of the gameplay. It was only like a minute long, but it did show things like, the area of Hogwarts, the Great Hall, Wizarding Village, supposedly a forest. Look, I'll be honest. I think that just outright, this is going to be cool. Like, there's some things where you just hope it doesn't suck because Harry Potter has such a strong fan base. And I just prayed to God that, you do it right. If you're going to do something like this, it's a massive undertaking, because of the amount of lore that's been built up, the amount of, not only you have movie fans, but you have book fans who are even deeper into this, and then you've got so much potential, but also so many pitfalls. So if you release a game that's super short-sighted, people won't stay on there long. If you release a game that's super in-depth, it could be really rewarding, but how much time do you have to really develop that world out? So Ricky, what are your thoughts initially when you hear about Harry Potter? I forgot the title that they actually dubbed as, the Wizarding World.
I think there's 2 working titles, but there's not a
Magic
for
Awakening
sure title. Yeah, and my first thought when I saw it was, because I saw one of the podcasts I listened to, just Harry Potter game coming, ? And my first thought was, holy shit, was this Rocksteady? Was this the Rocksteady game that we were promised? Because
Rockstar?
Rocksteady, the one, the Superman game. That was my first thought, was, holy shit, is this it? Because remember way back when we talked about the Superman game, they had said that, you know what, we're not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to raise a couple eyebrows and it's going to, impress people. It's going to make you jump back. And this would be that, because my second thought was, after reading everything, I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I'm like, why is it taking this long for a Harry Potter game?
Because they've had Harry Potter games in the past and they sucked.
There's mobile games and stuff, but I mean a true RPG, what they're describing here as what the synopsis would be. I'm just going to read it straight from. You're a 5th-year student going to Hogwarts. Shortly after arriving, strange events begin to unfold in the Forbidden Woods, and players embark with a professor named Elzar Fig to investigate. The game also allegedly allows players to freely explore the world and decide whether to pursue a path of good or evil. I heard that and I was like, how could this not be like an Arkham Spider-Man type thing of like, yeah, it's an RPG. You get your character. You're not playing as like Harry or Ron or Hermione. You're playing as your guy. You get to work with your talent tree, your guy, your girl. You get to work with your talent tree, kind of choose your story, but have that open worldness of like an Arkham or a Spider-Man that you can explore.
But it's MMO, so it's not just solo. That's the thing. That Arkham and Spider-Man,
it's
solo
just
games.
yourself.
So like,
this would be
instead,
more
this
like,
is more Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, or like, I would think, would it be more like WoW or Grand Theft? Because even Grand Theft Auto was, hey, I'm going to play solo, but then, hey, if I want to go online, then I can.
I think it'd just be like the online version.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I am afraid to compare anything to World of Warcraft because it is the fucking juggernaut.
No,
like,
I just mean like the fact that I log on and I can see you standing across from me.
Right, that's the same as Grand Theft Auto.
Or you can throw any game like the what was the Marvel one?
I'm just using the one that's. I'm using quality games. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck about those terrible games.
I'm trying to think of the terrible one that was like Marvel Alliance or something, or Marvel Heroes. That's what it was, Marvel Heroes. Yeah. But my biggest worry with it is it going to live up to the hype? Because there is huge hype for this now.
I say that one leak did so much, and at the same time, it's just like you have a depth of knowledge, or people have such a depth of knowledge that if you don't nail down the lore, if you don't nail down the details that have been put out to excruciating amounts, because not only do you have the books, the movies, you also have Harry Potter World actually at Disney. So it's like they have a real life thing where they can go and see these things. So if you don't really do a nice job,
the thing I do like about that, to avoid that, this is going to be, I think it was set in like the 1880s, or it's supposed to be set before Harry Potter, before the even Fantastic Beast stuff is going on. So it's kind of like they're like, hey, let's make this so far in the past that we're not going to run into those issues of like, hey, what's Harry doing? Oh, shouldn't Voldemort be here? What's going on here? No. We're far enough in the past to where we don't have to worry about running into any continuity things going on.
I still just, when they mention, like 8 playable wizard groups, like
classes.
Classes.
I'm going to say classes because that's what I'm used to it being called.
I know.
We'll use air quotes.
Fair enough. Classes. I'm afraid. It's, again, the thing for me is like Harry Potter, there is a lot of magic. It sort of seems like the depth of, the thought that went into the magic balance is kind of crap compared to like a Brandon Sanderson, like where he invents a world and the laws of magic and everything makes sense to some extent. And, there's no amazing good without a downfall to it. In the Harry Potter's universe, it's like Avada Kedavra, and like you just, put on death curses on people and there's no downside to that. And why would you use anything else? It's... So, how many spells are they going to have? Are they going to have spells that are only available if you choose to go to be maybe a not so nice witch or wizard? Or how do they split all that up? I have so many questions about how they would divide that and the spellcasting trees and how would you do spellcasting in game and the dueling. Like, all I've got is more questions. I saw 1 minute of content and I just want more information, damn it.
My favorite part, though, is the fact that I love games that let you decide, like, of what I want. Do I want to be good? Do I want to be evil? Although I'm the type of person that 9 times out of 10, I'm going to go towards the good side.
Right.
And then maybe like, I'll make another character to dabble in the side that I didn't get to go in. But my main is going to usually be the light, the hero, however you want to look at it.
What if you can only be good? What if your choice is only you just kind of run through Hogwarts, you choose your school or your group basically, and then you're like you just got to play against evil people.
I personally wouldn't like that because the whole thing that I would think of is like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
If you're a student there and you're playing as a student, you should be able to choose. Kind of like how we saw with I'm trying to think of his name because I'm not a huge Potterhead. Blonde hair, Slytherin Draco, where it's like, they're obviously on the dark side, and obviously there's more like Voldemort when he was an actual student was actually going into, Riddle was in there. And I think you have to have that mindset of you can choose. If it's an MMO, if it's an RPG, You have to be able to have that choice in Harry Potter.
I mean, the way it reads out in this description was, on your quest, you'll craft potions, master new spells, discover fantastical beasts, plug, shameless. You will battle dark wizards, goblins, and other supernatural enemies. Uncover the truth about your destiny. The fate of the wizarding world lies in your hands. So that sounds an awful lot like you're only getting to be a goodie. I'm just saying. That's one of the things where it's like,
See, but the one that... it's different because in the Vape This Bro synopsis, he puts in there, the game is also allegedly allows player to freely explore the world and decide whether to pursue a path of good or evil.
So there we go.
That I like, and that to me just makes them like, even because we don't know which one is right.
Yep.
Doesn't that just make the most sense for a Harry Potter game that you would be able to get to choose between good and evil?
I would hope so, but
Dave's just very skeptic about it.
Ken, it's like, what are the odds they actually let you do this stuff? I don't know. On the upside, I think that as long as they create a diverse and expansive universe for it, like there's so much people want to experience in that universe that like you will get a ton of people to want to play
especially
it.
Especially if it's good.
Just the you know, being able to explore. Being able to explore Hogwarts in detail. Being able to find new things, cool things in that universe where it's like, I read about this, I know about this, kind of like those little like Easter eggs for true Potterheads. And I think that being able to do something like that, it's a must. They must have an amazing explorable universe. Like if they're shallow on that and it feels like there's too many kind of guide rails there that don't let you go places, don't let you do things, it's going to be really disappointing.
And that's why I kind of like, I know you said like you hate comparing things to WoW, but I'm going to compare it to WoW.
That's because like you come to the table with WoW, you get smacked down.
No. I'm not saying like
WoW starts shutting down next month because guess what? They were going to be the WoW killer. Now you're fucking shutting down business.
Yeah,
like that's where you're at.
I don't want to say like, oh, I'm not saying like compare it like it's going to be the next WoW, but the thing that I look at is what kind of an RPG MMO are you going to make, or MMORPG are you going to make this? Are you going to make it like a WoW where it's like, to me, when I play WoW, there's story and content there, but let's be honest, half of the people who play it, I'm going to grind through quests. I'm not going to read that crap because I just want to get to my level and I want to play with people and interact with people. Yeah. Or is it going to be on the lines of I want to throw out, like, you could throw out Shadows of Mordor. You can throw out the Arkham, the Spider-Mans where it's like... You ever beat
through Shadows of Mordor?
I did not. Mark was a Shadows of Mordor guy.
Have you played it at all?
No. Really? I haven't. There was one where like the last Lord of the Rings game I played was the one for PlayStation 2 that were about the movies.
Yeah. They were actually a ton of fun.
They were
playing through them.
They were hard too, and they were difficult, which I liked. And you were able to switch between the three of them.
Legolas and Aragorn.
I think the thing that turned me off from Shadows of Mordor, I think when I was talking to Mark, I was like, "Oh, do you get to play as like Legolas?" And then he's like, "No, you just kind of see him. You're like your own guy." And I was like, "Oh." Well, that's not fun. Like, if I'm going to play a Lord of the Rings game, I want to be Gimli. I want to be Legolas.
There's so much more to that lore.
I know. I
love that. I'm on the side that I know names for this stuff. It's weird because I usually don't know names for anything.
But to be honest, like, when it comes to Lord of the Rings, with your family and your sister-in-law, you kind of have to know that.
My sister-in-law, if that's the excuse where I should know that stuff.
I don't know. I don't know if you could maybe tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I would say that if we're talking Lord of the Rings, your sister-in-law's got to be at the table.
She does know more than anyone else I know knows about Lord of the Rings.
But like with me, like Lord of the Rings was cool. I liked the movies, but I never died. Like it was never one of those where I'm like, I want to dive into
read the Silmarillion because you had nothing better to do in life.
No, I remember.
It's a horrible read, by the way.
In junior high, I attempted to read The Hobbit. Yep. Didn't get through it in junior high.
Such an easy read. It's not Harry Potter easy, but it's still an easy read.
I'll be honest, it was one of those things where it just didn't entice me.
Didn't you never read Harry Potter?
I got to chapter 5 or 6 in the first book. I owned them. I owned them all. Holy. I just never read. I was one of those people that owned them, never read them, saw the movie.
How are you even allowed to be on the show right now? Like, we're talking about the Harry Potter universe, And
I mean,
I remember dragging your ass to see some movies. But...
Well, you dragged me to see either the 5th or the 6th one. The one that ended where
Dobby died.
No, not that one. That was part 7, and I'm going to get to that in a second.
Okay.
Because that moment is seared like into my brain and will never leave. You brought me to
tragic.
It was 6 because the last fight was between. I think it was Snape was one of them, and it was a great wizard battle. I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome! I can't wait for the next one. And the next one came out, and it was
Deathly
you,
Hallows Part 1,
our friend Sean, and he's dating my cousin, who's a huge Potterhead as well. And you guys dragged me to it. I remember this vividly. We sat in like the 4th or 5th row on the far right side.
Is the only thing open?
And to me, nothing happened in this movie until the last 5 minutes. And I remember after the movie saying, where was all the action?
This kid over
And my
here.
cousin goes, oh, well, you got to wait for the next one.
Yep.
Why? But I was coming...
There is storytelling, Ricky.
I was coming at it from a non-pothead.
Worth of movies.
We're
wrapping everything up.
I was a non-pothead, though. So, like... You could understand that my frustration means literally nothing when it comes to that. I was just upset I was dragged.
You being upset about that makes fans upset about you.
Oh, I know, which is perfectly fine. But I know enough to know that if you're going to make a Harry Potter game, you got to have them be able to choose between good and evil. But my main point before I went on this tangent was, what kind of a game is it going to be? Is it going to be a WoW MMO where... fuck the story, you're interacting with other people, or like an Arkham Spider-Man where it's like, hey, those aren't MMOs, but we actually have a story like that in the game where you can progress through this story, have those cinematics, but then there's this whole other side to it that's the MMO part where you can interact with other people from other houses and play Quidditch and
I'd like it
battle
to be like
dark
that.
wizards and stuff like that.
I'd like there to be an actual storyline that you get to play through, but you also have like times where it's like, oh, well, I know if I can queue up for Quidditch matches, I can go play that for a while, or if I want to go do this, like you said, like the ability to break off from your own single player story. But the problem is like the single player story is going to cap off somewhere, and then what do you do? What's Endgame look like for the Harry Potter universe? I have no idea. I literally have no idea what Endgame would look like in a Harry Potter universe. Because, yes, there's always going to be, evil forces around to fight if you are kept only on the side of good. But, I mean, if we're predating everything that we have in the known universe, are we doing historical figures? Are any people we mentioned in the existing universe going to be showing up there? Because, again, the timeline is still very questionable at this point. So, I don't know. There's a lot of questions I got about this, and I don't want to be coming off as overly negative. This has definitely got my intrigue, but I've seen so many games come up and want to be MMOs and want to be WoW killers, and knowing that this could potentially be, if it's truly just an RPG, awesome. If it attempts to be an MMO, what does it mean by I want to be an MMO? Are you really going to pull up a chair at the big boy table? Or are you just going to, oh, well, by MMO, I really meant that we just allow a group play for Quidditch and, these group quests and this group, dungeon style, kind of like Rainbow Six Siege style, stuff like that. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Destiny. What if it was like Destiny? That's actually Destiny 2, I should say.
Do I get the full game when I pay for it?
But...
that's
I don't know if you could put your chin further into your neck bone at that point. You're I get it. You got very, no, I'm saying as far as gameplay, I don't give a fuck about the game and how bad they burned everybody. No, I'm saying gameplay wise, because that allowed you to play a story mode and it allowed you to progress, with other people at the same time. There was all those little events going on all across the map.
It depends on
I think
how
Destiny
good that
might
story
be
is, because the Destiny story, you can burn through it.
Yeah.
And then I get that the burning through it part had to deal with, all right, we're going to release this other chapter later on to where it's like, well.
So I played for 7 hours. I'm done with the game.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm going to pick it up later. And then guess what happened? I never picked it up again.
Yeah.
To where even the thing that I always hated about Destiny 2 was their looking for group system.
Yeah, it was dumb stuff.
God, there was no looking for group system, let's be honest, because it was, I wanted to do like the Raiden stuff for Destiny 2. I would look at, you would have to, what are we, in 1995? I gotta go onto my internet with the modem and I gotta type into a forum and I gotta read through forums and then maybe find someone who is looking for the same thing. But then you only have some people that are like, unless your item level is this high, you can't come with me. And it's like, fuck it, I'll just put the game down. Like, that's where I got to that level. So it depends on, like you said, what is Endgame gonna look like, and are you gonna make it accept, like, are you gonna do it to where, let's say there are different items, different wands that you have to pick up.
I'm sure there's going to be different wands.
Yeah, to make your character better.
Yeah.
Are you going to cap it where it's like, with Destiny, I always felt like when you did find someone, it's like, oh, wait, your gear was way too low. I'm not going to even take the chance to run this with you. Or are you going to make it, hey, you know what? We know our fan base, what we assume our fan base will be. Let's err on the side of caution and go a little bit into the more casual, but still have that percentage of like, hey, if you want to go hardcore and be an item level guy. So we're aiming
somewhere between Destiny 2 and Club Penguin.
A little bit, yeah. I don't know what Club Penguin is, but sure.
I'm just naming it right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
like,
all good.
That's the line you're going to play, because I'm telling you, there's probably some Harry Potter fans that are going to pick this up that might not be A, hardcore gamers, or B, hardcore MMO RPG players.
Yeah, no, I think anytime you're doing another form of media based on an existing like IP, you have to know to play to that audience. So Harry Potter has books, movies, entire location of Disney. So this game has to be something that pays homage, tribute, lives up to what is already established, contains Easter eggs for people who are deep, hardcore fans, who they'll want to play the game because they're like, oh yeah, see that over there? I know exactly, the thing behind that.
Yeah.
So if you can put all that together and say that we're going to have a cohesive universe, we're going to have enough content in there that gets the fans of the existing universe, you're like, I wonder what happened in that storyline. Be a great storyteller. Have that ability. But on top of that, now we're asking for gameplay. Now we're asking for group play. And now we're asking for, can you play Quidditch well? And now we're asking for, and do you see where I'm going with this list?
You're going down the rabbit hole.
This is a long list of things that they must do right. And if they don't deliver on these things.
If they don't have Quidditch in there, are you going to be angry?
I mean.
What if they say, you know what, this is just about being a...
If they cut Quidditch, because...
Well, what if they saw it as, hey, Quidditch is going to would be a side game thing, wouldn't actually deal with the story. We're not going to have that. We're not going to have
maybe on
the
release,
Quidditch part of it.
If they didn't have it on release, I might live with it. But like, I feel like it's Harry Potter. You got to have Quidditch, like to some extent. Yeah, but I mean, as long as I can wizard duel all day, like I'm cool with that.
I'm going to throw this out there because I just thought of it.
Sure.
For me, here would be your analogy of we're going from this to this. Are you going to be WoW or are you going to be DC Universe Online? Because to me, DC Universe Online, when it came out, great idea, jumped into it for like a day, and I was like, oh, this is not exactly what I thought it would be, and then I dipped.
DCU, I actually put in a lot of hours on that game. It was a decent game. Like, don't get me wrong, they hoard out for money, unfortunately, but like I thought it was a decent game.
It's like, but what are you going to what is the
they had endgame raids.
What's the goal or but I'm saying for Harry Potter, what's the goal or the vision?
Yeah.
That's what we're getting back to and kind of circling is what's your goal, what's your vision? And I don't even for me, I just worry. I worry about on my sense. I know MMORPG.
I'm hoping they build the story and there's some big bad that happened in the past that they just pull a rabbit out of a hat and here's your thing. You're there to go fight them and destroy their evil. You know?
I wonder, for me, I wonder if I'm going to play it and then go, man, this game is good, but if they gave me just like a game like Spider-Man where it's like you can maybe bring in other players, but hey, give me this awesome story.
You're just on a Spider-Man kick, man. I get it.
No, but it was
a good game. You don't got to make every game into that game.
But like Batman was even a good story too. That to me is, and maybe it's because I'm a story guy. I want a good story. Like Celeste. I just finished Celeste. It was a very simple game, $20 game. If you haven't played it, go get it. because to me it's an amazing game. And just the story alone, you got to nail that. Because I think if Harry Potter is going to be, hey, we're going to be an MMO and we're going to try to nail the online relationship, it's like, don't be WoW. Don't go the WoW route. Go the, hey, we're going to have an awesome story, but then we're going to bring in the MMO RPG aspects around that story. But the one question I do have for you is, this came as like a shot out of left field, right? Nobody knew that we were getting this.
Yeah, as far as I know, it was something that was asked for. But
I am shooting you with this shot out of left field. What is one thing, could be anything, book, movie, TV show, any property that we don't have a game for, that you're like, why don't we have a game for this? Or it's like, man, I really wish we could get a game for this. Is there anything in your mind that's like that? Because I didn't even realize that we didn't have a good Harry Potter game until this leak came out. And then I'm like, oh, why hasn't anyone tried to do that? Is there anything in your mind where it's like, man, I can't believe we don't have blank yet?
You know, I don't have anything. I literally have nothing. I'm sure there's a million things that we don't have games for. As to why, I don't know. No, not a single thing.
Because mine's all...
Nothing comes to mind.
Because mine's all superhero based. Like, why don't we have this amazing story and that amazing story? Because to me, all we've had... Read it. Well, video game, like, to me, it's surprising.
That's the problem with this generation. You're all too lazy to read things.
It's not even
you
that.
You want to play as these people.
It's not even that. It's like, the thing that was great, I'm going to bring it up again. The thing that was, oh my God, about Spider-Man was the last vision I had in my head was the Sam Raimi games. Where it was like, yeah, Spider-Man 2 was good, but webs to the sky. Where this one actually made it feel real.
Right.
When Arkham came out, it was like, oh my God, I felt like being Batman.
Right.
To me, one of the series that I'm thinking about, why don't we get an epic X-Men game? Because to me, the ones that I'm thinking about are way back in like the
Sega.
90s with the Sega, with the you could choose between
side-scroller.
It was side-scroller. You could choose between Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Cyclops, and Gambit, I think, were the four.
Yeah. I want to agree with you.
And I remember just being Nightwing.
First, like, 4 levels.
And just going all over the place.
Yeah.
And like Cyclops just shooting across the screen. Like,
you just clear everything in front of you. You're like, I'm not taking any chances. I'm just clearing the screen. Then I'll walk forward 3 steps, clear the screen.
Or like there's several different versions you can think of, but what about a Power Rangers game?
There's been Power Rangers games.
I mean like...
What are you looking for out of these games?
When I say like game, I don't mean like mobile game over here.
Like a AAA.
Yeah, I mean like when I'm talking games, I mean like AAA type game. Like an Arkham, like a Spider-Man, like a Assassin's Creed type of kind of game with it. Because the last Power Ranger game that I remember playing that was worth a damn in my mind was the Super Nintendo one.
That's rough.
Where it's basically, you had the two of them. You had the one that was based off the movie, and you had the one before it, where it's like, you're walking as like Jason, beating him up. Oh, my power meter's up. I'm going to morph into the Ranger, and then you're the Ranger.
I mean, they're releasing another episode of it, so why not? You know?
And I mean, they're...
The new movies, right? Because that got greenlit for the second movie,
They had the
didn't
movie,
it?
I think, because Hasbro bought it.
Yeah.
And we didn't know if they were going to do a reboot or a sequel. I think they said they are going to do a sequel.
Nice.
So they're not going to reboot it. But that's coming up. Why not have a AAA game? And I get the whole thing of you got to get a studio to do it. Like, my first thought, the Harry...
I got one.
Go.
It took forever. Pacific Rim.
You scared the fucking crap out of me when you went, like, I thought someone was behind me. I'm like,
someone snuck in the closed room where we have a table in front of the doorway. Into a corner.
You scared me. But yeah,
Pacific Rim on initial, like, as soon as... Like
different classes, different mechs.
As soon as we realized that, you know, they're starting to come through the breaches, and it's like before we get to the Raleigh days where we're trying to close it, we're trying to fight for survival.
The initial,
we're fighting for fucking survival. This is Gen 1.
Why not?
Of them. And you get to go out
I didn't even think about that.
And suit up into a fucking mech and fight goddamn giant monsters, the kaijus.
Question, would you make it AAA single player or MMORPG?
I think you would have to go for. It couldn't be an MMO. That could have some cool shit.
I'm all about AAA single player it. Like Arkham-esque.
So I want to say multiplayer though, because it's Pacific Rim. So it could
need more than one.
It could be a cross-play co-op, like a couch co-op.
Yeah.
Kind of in the lines of not quite a. It would have to be a multiplayer.
What if it's like a Borderlands?
What if it's like a Borderlands?
Like, hey, I can play by myself.
What if it's like a Borderlands?
But
this guy.
Because think about it. That looking for group system of like, hey, I'm going to play by myself. Or, hey, I'm just going to join this random looking for group and just join three random people.
There's a breach in Tokyo. I'm going to go jump in that. And then you show up and you get to...
And how many? God. Like, it could be like...
It could be a two-man... It could be a two-man drop. It could be a four-group. We could get fun.
The number, it could be infinite almost. Like, you could make a... Depends on the hardware, basically.
You would cap. You'd want to cap it because you can't have.
But you could make like a 10-man drop,
dude.
I mean, a 5-man drop, a 2-man drop. Like you could have different levels of large, medium, small.
Because they scale not only the kaiju levels but also the levels for Are we talking Gen 1? Are we talking? Oh my God. For those who don't know, I'm a huge Pac Rim fan. Like that's that's one of the things where it's
this is
like,
what I was hoping would happen when I sparked that question.
Like I love the artwork. I love the story. I wish the movies were slightly better, but I still love them. Like it's just one of those things where I just think it's some of the coolest shit in the world. I truly fanboy over that. So yes, if you gave me that game, oh my god, I would be all over that.
I mean, to me, maybe it's just like. Maybe I'm just itching because I know
you're on such a superhero.
No. It's not. No. It's not even that. It's not even that. Yeah. Like when it comes to games, I know we've talked in the past about single player games being dead, and it kills me.
Really?
It kills me because I love single player games. Like I was telling you, and I was telling Mark, ever since I got done with. Because I've had a weird thing going on in my head ever since I finished Spider-Man. Like,
what's that?
It was a great story. It wasn't a hard platinum. It was a satisfying platinum.
Okay.
Like the things after the game, like the research stations, the challenges, it didn't feel like work. Like maybe the crimes, because I held them off till the very end, and everyone was like, "Hey," like I read after, "Hey, you shouldn't do it." Like take a break from the story, do a couple crimes. I didn't do that. I wanted to do the story because I was so enticed in it. So maybe the crimes at the end, because it was like last thing. Yeah. The last thing I needed for the platinum, and it was just basically swinging around until one popped up on the map in the area.
Right.
But I finished the platinum, and now I've just had this, like, I initially had, because I went to Madden, then initially had a crave of like, I need another good story.
Yeah.
I need it. And then I was like, shit. I bought Celeste at the beginning of the year because one of the gaming podcasts I listened to, they ranted and raved about how it's game of the year and had a great story. I played it. It was a great story. Like, it was one of those because it deals with depression and anxiety, told the story so well.
Super relatable.
To where, well, no. Not even that. Like, the one girl that I talked to who... She constantly is like, I go through anxiety and stuff. It was such a relatable to me story that I texted her and I said, I don't care what. I would prefer you play the game because you play it, you feel it. Like there's this part, I'm just going to, spoiler, if you jump ahead about 2 minutes if you don't want this spoiled, but there's a part where your character is like freaking out, like, oh my God, I'm breathing heavy. And the other person goes, hey, my grandpa taught me this trick. Imagine a feather is in front of you and you're trying to keep it up and a feather appears and the screen goes black around it. And at first I'm like, oh, do they want me to do something? And you hit X and the feather goes up.
Yep.
And you have to hold X and let the feather drop and eventually like a box forms to where you have to let it drop and then gradually go up and keep the feather in the box. Kind of like you're breathing. And I was like, oh my God, that is like, just that mechanic is like, holy shit. Like, I didn't think that something like that would make me feel like this is awesome. To where I'm like, you have to play it, but if you're not going to play it, at least watch someone else play it. And then after I got done with that game, I was like, you know what? Dead Cells, I hate games that are like, it's a good game, but I hate games that are like Dark Souls-esque because I'm not that good. So I keep dying on the second level. I'm like, I'm never going to experience this game. I don't know. I just know I'm not playing super. I'm like trying to get through and like just hack and slash, and then I died. Got to start all over again. But the thing is, I'm craving a really good story, really good single player story, all because of Spider-Man.
Dante's Inferno.
I played that game. I played it for PS. Like, it was a great story.
Yeah.
That was
one of those games I go back to. I was like, I really enjoyed that game. I've played through it 3 times.
That was one that I got like 53% to the platinum, and I was gonna go back and platinum it, but on PS3, I'm like, I'm not wasting this much time. Like, I'm not diving that much into it. Like,
it was like a God of War-esque gameplay with a very fun talent tree, and
like, I'm even debating Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, do I want to go? I debated Tomb Raider. I'm like, I don't want to get Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if Borderlands would just drop their fucking game, waiting on it any day now. It'll probably be 2019, like mid-year, but whatever.
Yeah. Mark told me to get Detroit Become Human because that's what he's
great
playing
storyline.
Right and I debated it because they have a package on the PlayStation Store where I guess it's about $20 more, I think, than the actual game.
Okay.
But you get the digital download of Detroit Become Human and a digital download of Heavy Rain. And I know Mark keeps talking about Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain. I talked with Mark about Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
It's a great story
and
game.
I told Mark that, and he goes, yeah, get that. That's good. He goes, but Beyond Two Souls is better. I was like, is that the one with Ellen Page? He goes, yes, that one's great. And I'm like, now I just want to play Until Dawn. Now I just want to play those Telltale games. Damn it, where's Telltale?
I know, right?
You go down this rabbit hole. But I mean, that's where I am right now. I just want a good single-player game, even though most people, I just want to get to Call of Duty and play online kind of a thing.
I mean, you go back and play some more Amnesia, Dark Descent, you know.
I never played Amnesia.
Oh, it's okay.
Unless I log into my Steam account that you keep getting emails for.
It's the funniest thing. I'm like, I'll send Ricky this. There's like 6 requests.
Those hackers from China and Russia are trying to get in.
They really want your account. I don't know what's on there, but
which is weird because the only games I have on it, Marvel Heroes, which is dead now.
Yep.
Five Nights at Freddy's 3. And Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale. Those are the only games I have.
You ever played through Uncharted?
No, I didn't. I was never a Uncharted guy.
Elder Scrolls?
Nope. Wow. If The Last of Us would come out, that would just grab my itch and I could just play through that. But I'm like, you guys, if you guys have it doesn't have to be a AAA, but like a good single player story game that I should play, let me know because I'm just itching for it. Because like I've got my Cardinal franchise I'm playing right now. Their offensive line sucks, so I hate
Titanfall 2 actually had some decent storyline. Monster Hunter World you beat. Wow, the storyline for it.
Yeah.
There's no beating that game. It's so stupid.
Yeah, part of me was like, should I go back? And I'm like, no, there's no story. I'm done with the story.
You beat Bloodborne, right?
Yes. Yes, I did. Did I? I don't remember. Unless that was Battleborn.
No,
and that game's dead.
They're very different games.
Yeah, and that one's Battleborn is dead because Overwatch is a thing.
Nier Automata.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh, son, we're gonna watch that.
Oh, son,
we're gonna watch that shit after this finishes recording. But I like that this is basically just kind of we love storyline games. Like, what should Ricky play?
I love that's like, and that's what I love about games the most is I just love a good story.
Yeah.
I love
you beat God of War, right?
Yes, I did. I beat 1, 2. I started 3, and that's where I kind of...
Have you played the most... So you haven't played the most recent one?
No.
Whereas with the son?
I have to play that one.
You do have to play that one.
I have to play that one.
I'm literally just flipping through Games Radar right now, reading off the list.
And also, you got it. Like, why I didn't play the God of War one was because that was in our WoW. When we got really big back into the WoW... Because that's what I noticed. Me and you got into WoW. I stopped playing my PlayStation. Then I got
Who needs an inferior system?
Yeah. Then I got the Spider-Man PlayStation. Played that, and now all I can play is that PlayStation.
Horizon Zero Dawn is another one.
Is that the one with the bow and arrow chick?
Bow and arrow chick with giant robot beasts. Yeah, it's got some quality to it.
Okay, that's what I thought. That it was Brave for PlayStation, right? Brave.
I guess
Pixar.
I guess.
Because she's got red hair.
I know, but not quite. I don't want to give you that one. I really don't.
Is there anything else we haven't talked about today?
I mean, Fortnite. Fortnite shout out of the week.
Isn't there a new...
There's new something coming
season?
Out. Yeah, sure. New season. Let's call it that. World of Warcraft shout for that. We talked a little while already, but not current.
Compared it. I have yet to play the new raid.
Blizzard's changing their president, Mike Morhaime, stepping down, but don't be worried. J. Allen Brack stepping up, who was pretty much the leader of the World of Warcraft division. Apparently,
people who go to BlizzCon this year are going to get a free trial of WoW Vanilla.
Oh,
that's what I saw. Something with BlizzCon where if you go to BlizzCon, you'll be able to try WoW Vanilla.
I believe I'm watching BlizzCon with Johnny and some of our other friends. They bought the virtual ticket. I think we're gonna watch it. Maybe we'll discuss a little bit. Maybe we have a little crossover event where me, you, and Johnny talk some BlizzCon news.
Because I thought, yes, here it is. Oh, it's the virtual ticket. So BlizzCon virtual ticket includes WoW Classic demo.
There we go.
So if you bought the virtual ticket, you can play WoW Classic.
Yeah, I'm hyped. The only problem is the Overwatch future stuff is all on a Friday, so now I have to take off Friday. Big whoop for me, but for people with jobs, I guess it's.
You said Overwatch future stuff. Oh, future I thought they were doing some new story to the Overwatch thing.
No,
my brain wasn't working for a second.
I'm pulling it up right now because we were looking at the agenda for it, and I was like, oh, why?
BlizzCon to me, it's one of those things where I don't need to watch it. Just wait for it to be announced, and then I'll watch the trailers or anything.
Overwatch What's Next, 3:30 p.m. on Friday. Join the Overwatch devs as they share for what's next in the game and the universe. Come on. A Friday afternoon at 3:15. And that's Central Time.
If I was at the con, it'd be different. But otherwise,
we gotta go to BlizzCon.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm you know what? What I would really like to do, Dave, because of this podcast.
What's that?
I would love to go to E3.
Well, yeah. I mean, E3 is a dream. Absolutely.
I mean, why not? I mean,
it's in the summer. We need to go to E3. I'm going to go to Summer League for NBA season for the Fast Break, another podcast here. BlizzCon.
VidCon too. You want to know the beautiful thing about VidCon?
Yeah.
They came out with the dates for 2019.
Yep.
So for the last 2 years, it's been at the end of June, right? Because it's always been NBA Draft Friday.
Yeah, it's
this year it's July 10th through the 13th.
Hopefully nothing important is going on at that point.
Hey, no draft. I mean, E3 is in June. I would love to get... E3 is actually going to be June 11th to June 13th.
We just need conventions. Can we just do this and go to conventions? Can you help us make our dreams come true?
I mean, that's what the Kind of Funny guys do. They actually do. I would love this is goal for Too Old to Game and other podcasts, but this would be our version of it.
Yeah.
To go to E3.
Absolutely.
Be at E3.
I'm following you so far.
Record
a live.
So record podcasts from E3.
Yes.
The weekly Too Old to Game.
Yeah.
Live from E3. We set up on the hotel balcony. And record live. But also then at the after we try something. All right, Dave, you tried Cyberpunk. What do you think of it? And record little videos of what we think of demos that we're trying out. Be a dream.
Be a dream come true. Help us achieve those dreams. That's all I have to say.
We can't do it without you.
The real MVPers out there.
You think I'm lying, but I'm not. Also, I gotta, since we're just kind of shooting the shit here at the end.
We bit. But that's the bonus for the people who stick it out. They get to see the behind the scenes.
I got two guys.
How it is.
I got two people I want to shout out.
Oh, we getting some shout outs. That's pretty sweet.
I do, because I look at the comments. You guys
share the love.
I look at them.
I know.
And these are Too Old to Game comments.
Yes.
Which
we don't get many of, so I absolutely love reading them.
These were, let me pull it up.
From last week?
Yes, it was. From the crossplay episode.
Yep.
There was one.
Which was a pretty good episode.
I
actually like doing this show.
Like this, where it's just hey, we talk about something, and then it's hey, we just talk about it from here. Let's see what it was. There were two of them.
Yep.
One was Idris, where he said, I think gamers still have a heart for single-player side of gaming. However, multiplayer is going to be more advanced. More contribution of crossplay will be available in new games to be released. And then Scott Basketball episode was great.
Yes, thank you. Thank you both, Idris and Scott.
And then Mark replied to that, thanks.
Mark, always
Thanks!
so.
Thanks! Exclamation! But he did not capitalize the thanks.
Also, is he really that thankful?
I don't know.
Get a question mark's motives on that one.
Maybe he was sick when he made that comment. Right? Maybe he was sick.
Sick.
Close it out, Dave.
Sick. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it through all of this, you are truly a fan. You are truly the real MVPs around here. I want to say thank you for checking us out. If you want to check out more of us, you can always go to our website, mostvaluablepodcast.com. We've got all of our stuff there. We've got our merch store where I'm wearing an awesome t-shirt. I need a new photo. I've lost a little weight since then. I can show the shirt a little better. I'm just saying.
I like how you go that route.
Yeah.
And then whenever Brandon hosts, he pokes fun at you for being the model.
Why does he poke fun at me?
He always pokes fun at me. He's like, I think we need to update the photo. Get a different model to show it off.
I've gotten in better shape now, and I thought I looked pretty good then. So, fuck you, Brandon. We're starting this shit right now.
The rivalry is here.
I'm better looking than Brandon.
The rivalry is here.
I'll say it. Yeah, so you could always check us out on the website. You can hit us up on iTunes, on Twitter, on anything else.
Greatest thing, he'll never know you said that.
I know.
Here's a thing, and this is going on you guys too. Don't say anything. I want to see if he notices on his own.
He won't. That's all right. He's too busy following Trump.
I want to see if he notices on his own.
Zero chance. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate everything you guys do, and we want to bring you more content. So help us do that. That will wrap it up for this week, episode 13 of Too Old to Game. Good night, everybody.